Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. This quote is from the 1994 movie Forrest Gump, and I chose it for March because this is the month to feature the 90s. This decade was such an exciting one. It was the last one of the 20th century, and technology was simply taking off at the speed of light, a process that gradually yet drastically changed the world. The development of the internet was at the top. That gives you an idea of what a turning point it was. So much so that today we simply can't imagine life without the internet. As for the house on my cover that represents the 90s, I was inspired by one that is found in San Francisco. It brings to mind the colors and style of Lisa Frank. If you grew up in the 90s, you must have owned at least a pencil with her designs. I used to love all the different items of their stationery. Doing research for this theme, I learned about the documentary of the brand. I will not spoil it for you if you want to watch it, but I definitely feel grateful to all the illustrators behind the art for coming up with the dreamy images that set a trend and accompanied us through the school years. So as you can see, my palette is mainly composed of neon colors, those that were prominently featured in all the whimsical animals that made up the colorful brand. Once again, as you watch me set my theme up, I will be talking about some of the highlights from the 90s that I wanted to feature in my pages. Starting with 1990, the Hubble telescope was launched and it remains in operation, making it possible for us to see beyond the sky into the nearest parts of the universe that surround us. It was named after the astronomer Edwin Hubble, and it is one of NASA's great observatories. It has recorded some of the most detailed visible light images, with many of its observations leading to breakthroughs in astrophysics, such as determining the rate of expansion of the universe. Whenever I think of it, I feel my mind expand and yet explode, with the infinite space that surrounds us in perfect synchrony. If I were not an artist, I would definitely be an astronomer. A curious fact about the Hubble is that although it launched in 1990, its main mirror had been grounded incorrectly, which compromised its capabilities, so it had to be serviced in 1993 when it was finally ready for its ongoing mission. It has required maintenance at least 5 times, and it is predicted to last until 2030 or 2040. That's almost 50 years of incredible images that we would have never seen otherwise. In the world of entertainment, a series that gained international viewership was The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. It aired from September 1990 till May 1996. Not only did it launch Will Smith into stardom, but it's also considered a watershed moment for hip-hop and black television, with many publications referring to it as one of the greatest sitcoms of all time. And speaking of entertainment, it wouldn't be a video about the 90s without mentioning Home Alone, a timeless movie that every child has seen since its premiere. Macaulay Culkin shone in his stellar role as Kevin McAllister, turning the movie into the highest-grossing live-action comedy for 2 decades. It was even nominated for 2 Academy Awards and 2 Golden Globes. The sequel was launched in 1992, receiving mixed reviews from critics who praised the performances while criticizing its darker tone and violence, as well as its similarities to the first film. Another cute highlight was Humphrey the Whale, a humpback whale that unusually deviated twice from his course from Mexico to Alaska, entering the San Francisco Bay. He attracted wide media attention and resulted in him being rescued by the government and hundreds of volunteers. Let's talk about 1991. If I were the sporty kind, I would have been a figure ice skater. I dreamed of this, influenced by the wonders that ice skaters perform at the beginning of the decade. I was simply mesmerized by how they glided and made it look so easy. Nancy Kerrigan was a favorite back then, but we can't talk about her and not mention Tonya Harding, the twice US champion and 1991 world silver medalist. She became the first American woman and the second woman in history to successfully land a triple axel in an international competition, a move that only men had been able to master. In 1994, she pled guilty to conspiring against Nancy Kerrigan and was banned from the United States Figure Skating Association for life. It was so sad to see so much potential end because of jealousy, but it was what it was. From then on, she turned to professional boxing, something that I didn't know until now. 1991 was witness of a total eclipse, and I vividly remember seeing it happen from our garden. With my stuffed toys as audience, my brother and I built an eclipse device that would allow us to see it safely, and it was simply magical to see everything go dark in the middle of the day. I was also deeply moved by the news featuring the animals at the zoo getting ready to go to sleep. These events are simply amazing. In the world of entertainment, I had to add the quote, "Hasta la vista, baby," because even when Terminator was not my thing, this quote is internationally known and it marked a generation and is still used by many. This year was cool for many kids with the launching of the Super Nintendo and Sega's Sonic the Hedgehog, who immediately became one of my favorites. I remember that my cousin would lend us his Game Gear, and me and my brother would play for hours, even staying awake to defeat Dr. Eggman. The music of the game is something that makes me smile whenever I bring it back to my mind. I also love the 2 live-action movies that came out in 2020 and 2022. And actually the first one, Sonic the Hedgehog, was the last movie I saw at a movie theater right before the pandemic hit. Last but not least, just as I had my tomboy side because of my older brother, I also had my girly side because of my eldest sister. And that side was in love with Disney's Beauty and the Beast. I remember watching the movie with my mom at the theater. She then got me the book that came with that cassette, and one of my cousins that visited Disneyland got me a postcard and a deck of collectible cards. I was all into it, truly considering Belle as the best Disney princess with her out-of-the-box thinking, her passion for books, and her limitless kindness and empathy. And we are in 1992, with the first Winter Olympic Games, with Tiger Woods' incredible abilities in golf, and with the USA's basketball stream team winning the Olympics. We also had Crystal Pepsi to celebrate the new age trend. It was innovative in flavor and looks, but several other manufacturers also released colorless versions of their existing products, and by late 1993, Crystal Pepsi was discontinued. To me, the best thing about 1992 was Cartoon Network, the only reason why I wanted cable TV. I fondly remember watching the Looney Tunes and some of Dr. Seuss movies in the TV room, lying on our sofa bed, and especially when I skipped school because of being sick. 1993 is the last year featured in this video. My favorite thing was Jurassic Park. After 30 years and far too many sequels, in my opinion, the first one will always be the best one. Another movie hit was Mrs. Doubtfire, with beloved Robin Williams on the lead role. And the cinematographic world suffered a great loss with Federico Fellini's passing. He's recognized as one of the greatest and most influential filmmakers of all time. Speaking of Italians, Ferruccio Lamborghini also passed in 1993, leaving a legacy of luxury sports cars that are unparalleled in performance and distinctive design. Finally, I remember being amazed to learn about Biosphere 2, a structure originally built to be an artificial, closed ecological system meant to demonstrate its viability to support and maintain human life in outer space. After 2 failed attempts, the original purpose was scratched, and today research continues at the facility. It's definitely in my must-go list. And here is the final flip-through of my March theme featuring the 90s. I really love how it looks. It awakens the child in me with all these memories that marked my childhood and teenage years. I've been loving how my journal is turning into a history archive full of drawings that highlight the best of the last centuries. Can't wait to see them all come to completion. I'm always grateful for the comments and the support. And so as usual, thank you so much for watching.